welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a prom makeup look for you guys. It is that time of year for all you youngins. I can say that because I am older than you, which is scary. I used to think I'm a youngin, obviously I'm not anymore. Okay. That's Ashley. So it is that time of year for many of you guys going to prom. I actually have a couple of prom makeup appointments this year, which I'm so excited about. And I wanted to go ahead and do a look that's very simple and very universal. So whether you have a black dress, a red dress, a yellow dress, a blue dress, this look can go with any kind of dress that you have. I would love to do another look that's a little bit more smokier, so I definitely will do that probably for you guys next week, so stay tuned for that. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like I said, it's really beautiful. Honestly, this is a really great everyday look as well, or if you're a bridesmaid, if you're a bride. Honestly, this is a great look for everybody, so I hope you guys enjoy. If you did, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel so you can see more of my prom videos next week. So let's go ahead and get right into the tutorial. Bye guys.
Alright guys, so as always I'm going to prime my eyes. I am using my Urban Decay Primer Potion in Original, which literally has nothing left in the tube, so this is my last leg with the primer until I open a new one. Today I'm going to be using my Kat Von D Shade Light Eye Palette. I'm taking this shade right here, which is Targeted, and I'm going to go ahead and place this down as my brow bone highlight. I place it right underneath the brow and then blend it down into the rest of my eye look. Then I'm going to go in with this shade in the upper right, and this is going to be my transition shade. So going in with the Sigma E40 blending brush, I'm going to go ahead and place this right into the crease as well as blending it up. This is a really nice, gorgeous, as you can see, kind of peachy shade. So this is one of my favorite shades to go in with when you're doing a transition shade. Just going back and forth and just really making sure it's nice and blended. Then going in with this shade, I'm going to go really dig this in to my crease as you see me doing here. I'm really taking that brush and just going right into the crease and blending it back and forth. I will blend it upwards a little bit just because of the fact that I do have hooded eyes, but I really want the main focus of the shadow to be right into that crease socket. So just going back and forth and just really blending it out. Then I'm going to take my Sigma E25 blending brush. I'm going to take the dark brown shade over there, and this is going to go right into the outer corner. I'm mainly focusing this in the outer corner of my eye, as you see me doing here, but I will blend it into the crease, but not all the way into my inner corner. Just mainly focusing the most pigment and the shadow right in the outer corner, just to really define the eyes a little bit more. And then I do go back in with my big fluffy brush and just really blend all the colors together so everything is nice and blended and there are no harsh lines. Then the main focus and the lid shade is going to be this MAC pigment. This is in the shade Naked. I love this pigment. I'm just going to go ahead and take a little BH Cosmetics brush. I'm just going to go ahead and tap this all over the lid, mainly putting it in the like 3/4 of my lid, if that makes sense. Not really covering up that dark brown in the outer corner that we put down, but just really placing this all over the lid. And it's a really beautiful soft pigment. I really love this pigment. I love using it for every day. I love using it on bridal. It's just really gorgeous. So packing it on, you can make it as opaque or as light as you want. And then I'm just going to go back in with my blending brush and just slightly blend it out so it's nice and blended into the shadows. You don't want to blend it too crazy because then you're going to get rid of all of the pigment that you put down. For winged liner, I'm going in with my LA Girl Fine Line Liquid Liner, and I'm going to go ahead and do my wing. It's so difficult to film a wing on camera, so I'm just going to go ahead first and just create a line on my lower lash line, and then going in and creating that flick and attaching it all together. And then with the power of editing, as you can see, the wings are done. For lashes, I'm going to go ahead and apply my Ardell Wispies. These are my favorite lashes pretty much of all time, and they're so affordable from the drugstore. Just applying them with my Duo White Clear Glue. And as you can see, they're really nice, they're really light, and I think they're just perfect for anybody who's going to prom because, like I said, they're affordable, they're easy, they're light, and they won't bother you throughout the night, and they're not too heavy at all, like I said. So then I'm going to go ahead and do my face. So I'm using these two foundations, the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk and my NARS Luminous Weightless Foundation. I also realized while I was putting my foundation down, maybe you'll see my face in a second, I realized I did not put a primer down. I don't know why. I always put a primer down, but that's my face right there. I was like, crap, I just realized I forgot to do a primer. But anyway, just going with the flow, I'm going to go ahead and apply these foundations all over. I've really been loving this combination lately, so I'm just going to go ahead and apply them and then blend it out with my Beauty Blender sponge. Then for concealer, I'm going to be using my Urban Decay Naked Naked Skin Concealer, which this is brand new right out of the box. I know, so exciting. I'm going to go ahead and apply this under my eyes. I believe this is in the shade Light Warm. Applying it under the eyes, it is a lot lighter, as you can see, as, beside my foundation, but I did want to go for that stark kind of highlight underneath my eyes today. I kind of go through phases. Like, I'm like, you know what, I want it to be kind of simple, kind of like my skin tone, and then sometimes I just want to go intense and really, really highlight it. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that underneath my eyes, like I said, and then blending it back out again with my beauty blender. Then for the under eyes and to set everything, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Cover FX translucent powder. I'm going to go ahead and set the under eyes with that, pressing it in with my Sigma F35 brush. I'm also going to set my highlighted areas as well as my smile lines with this translucent powder. I am going to set the rest of my face with something else. I misspoke before, but I am just going to go ahead and use this translucent powder to set those highlighted areas. And then to set the rest of my face, I'm going in with my BECCA Soft Light Blurring Powder, and I'm going to take my big fluffy Sigma powder brush. I believe this is the F30 or the F20. I'll link all my brushes down below for you guys. I'm just going to go ahead and set the rest of my foundation and the rest of my face. For brows, I'm going to go ahead and outline my brows with my Anastasia brow definer in soft brown. I always outline them first with my brow pencil, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill them in, as you'll see me do in a second, with my Sigma Brow Duo in medium. I take the lighter shade in the inner corner, and then I go in with the darker shade in the outer corner. You guys have seen me do my brows a million times, so I am just going to go ahead and speed through this very, very quickly. And bam, brows are done. There we go. Power of editing once again. Love the brows. So intense. Not really, but that's okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and do bronzer. I'm using my BECCA Sunlit bronzer. This is in the shade Bronzed Bondi. I recently did a video on these bronzers. I absolutely love them. So I'm just dusting a little bit all over the face just to add a little bit of color. And then going in with my Kat Von D Shade Light Contour Palette, I'm going to go ahead and really chisel out those cheeks. I'm using my contour brush by Sigma. This is the F70. And then for blush today, I'm also going to use the Sigma Cor de Rosa Aura Powder. I didn't realize I used a lot of Sigma products today. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just apply this all over the cheeks with my Sigma blush brush. And then for highlight, this has been my current obsession. I've been using this every single day. I'm using my Tarte highlighter. This is in the shade Stunner. I'm going to go ahead and apply this all over the tops of the cheeks as well as the center of the nose and the Cupid's bow. Now we're going to go ahead and finish up on the eyes. I'm taking that light brown in the first part of the palette, and I'm just going to go ahead and darken up that outer corner a little bit more. I just want to go ahead and add a little bit more definition as well as to heighten it a little bit. Like I said, I do have hooded eyes, so I did want to bring up the shadows just a little bit more, not too much. And then going in with that same short shader brush. This is the E20 by Sigma, I believe. I'm going to go ahead and take that same exact shadow, I should say, and I'm just going to go ahead and line the lower lash line with that shadow, and then going back in with my E30 pencil brush, which I just slammed myself in the face with. I'm going to go ahead and just really blend this out. Again, no harsh lines, nothing too intense, just really making sure it's nice, soft, and blended. And then this step is optional, but I'm going in with a little bit of black on my Sigma E15. And I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of black as close to the lower lash line as I can, just in the outer half of my eye. I just wanted to add a little bit of black to kind of just balance out the look a little bit. Again, this is completely optional, but because we went in the wing liner, I just wanted to go ahead and add a little bit of darkness to the lower lash line as well. So I am going in with a short definer brush and just putting it right in the outer half, and then going back with my pencil brush to really blend it out. Then for liner, I'm going in with my Tarte Skinny Smolder eyeliner in Onyx. I'm going to go ahead and line the lower lash line with that. And then for mascara, I'm going in with the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Mascara and applying a good coat of that to the lower lashes. And then last but not least, for inner corner highlight, I'm going to go back in with my Tarte highlighter that I used before on my face, and taking my inner corner brush, this is the E46 from Sigma, just applying this right to the inner corner of my eyes. And then I'm also going to apply a little bit right underneath the brow bone, just to really have the whole look come together and just really have that nice intense poppin' under brow highlight, you know what I mean? So now for lips, last but not least, I'm going to go in with my MAC lip liner. This is in the shade Soar. I'm going to go ahead and line my lips with this, as you see me doing here. Then for lipstick, I'm going to go in with the Anastasia lipstick. I believe this is in the shade Naked. I will leave it down below for you guys, but I'm pretty sure that's the name of this one. I'm going to start going in the center of the lips. I kind of was thinking of doing like an ombre-ish kind of lip because I did go in darker with my lip liner in the outer corners of my lips, as you guys can see right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply the lipstick. I do go back in with my lip liner just because the lipstick I felt like took away a lot of the definition with the lip liner. So I am just going to go back in and define my lips a little bit more using that same lip liner color by MAC. You want to make sure that the lips are completely blended, so I do go in with my finger just to make sure that the lip liner and the lipstick is blended together. And then last but not least, for a little bit of sparkle, I'm going to go in with the Jouer lip topper, and this is in the shade Skinny Dip, and I'm going to apply this all over the lips. After that, your look is complete. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you enjoy your prom, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.